Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. In this video I will discuss the new developments in Serbia. I made a video on Serbia yesterday where, according to some reports from Serbia, there were some demonstrations, anti-governmental demonstrations. People protested. We don't like you, we want this, we don't like you, we want this. Okay, that's all fine. But then those protests became violent. There were some comments in the video I made, and I'm not responding to those comments, but, I'm gonna ask some questions, rhetorical questions. Well, is it illegal to protest? No. Let's start back off a little bit. Do we like democracy? All right, let's say we like democracy. We like nuances in democracy, which I personally don't like, and I don't want all the baboons who are bipeds to be allowed to vote full vote. Why? Because some of them are dumb, some of them are smart. Some of them don't know what they're talking about, some of them know what they're talking about. So I want to have the best voting because they know. Therefore, I would structure it based on your knowledge. I like quality, I'm sorry. Right? I don't like an imbecile to nullify your vote about the subject that you know all about it, and the idiot doesn't know anything but he's promised money. I don't think that's fair, or doesn't know anything about it. And that gets me to Socrates' question. Should we just, let's say, I'm going to talk about it actually after I'm going to discuss this video that I have here. So the first one, we like democracy? Well, with nuances. We like freedom? We like freedom. Unlimited freedom? No, should be some limited, the liberties must be limited. I can't just go and grab your stuff, you know what I mean? So there are some infringement of your liberty, our liberty, more or less. Now, free speech, infringed or not infringed? Well, I understand there should be some limitations, and the limitations are don't threaten, don't instigate to violence, don't promote minor porn, and, that's kind of what it is. The rest, I can insult you how much I want, you can get offended, or I can get offended how much I want. That's covered by the freedom of speech. Now, if you offend me, I shouldn't be legally allowed to smack you, correct? I should be punished by law. Why? Of freedom of speech. So we have some protesters. We have a country, Serbia, independent sovereign so far, and they held some elections. You can't say that Serbia is an undemocratic state. If you say Serbia is an undemocratic state, then you can claim the same thing for any other country on this planet. Why? Irregularities are there. Do you have any evidence that the current Serbian government committed fraud in being elected? I personally don't have the evidence, and I'm not going to listen to CNN telling me that, because CNN told me that the Russians also fudged elections, these guys didn't fudge, the Romanian fudged elections, these forged elections. Only the good people don't forge elections, which is false. All right, irregularities are there. So people are allowed to protest. Correct? Correct. Now, if the protest become violence and destruct other people's property, they should be apprehended roughly, incarcerated, interviewed, charged, convicted, and then punishment according to their crime. That's how it's in a state that respects the law. If you disagree with that, you do not like the law. Clear? Clear. If you are violent and you destroy my property, I can go fight and fuck you up. Is that how it goes? No, the law enforcement will come and get you because it's my property and you should not destroy it. As I should not be allowed to destroy your property because I'm angry with the government. Capisci? Capisci. I'm sorry I have to go to ABC 1, 2, 3. Now, regarding Yugoslavia, Serbia, right? Yugoslavia, still in time, back there. Serbia, some people don't like the government. Okay, my friends, in a civilized country that you are a civilized person, you protest. I don't like this. I don't like the government. I think the government is this. What do? Do you start a revolution because you don't like the government? No, because if you win, other people can claim the same right of staging a violent revolution and topple you. So we can't have that. We have a process. You have a process in Serbia, which is elect your officials. That's how it's in America. You can't work within the system. If you'd never heard that before, maybe it's time for you to learn that. Romanians need to learn that. They're somewhere in the medieval times. Yeah, that's exactly where most of them are. All right? No, work within the system. You don't like it? Well, what are you going to do? Are you going to turn violent? And if you turn violent and you overthrow a government, the next ones can do the same thing to you because they consider you as being, undemocratic. You see how it goes? All right, if you don't understand, go back to yeomans and slaves and slave and servants. That's probably where the mind is over there with most of my compatriots, let's put it this way, from the former colony of France nowadays. So, I don't know what's the problem here. What is the unknown that some people destroy property, act violently, and somehow the government should fall? The government is protecting the rest of the population, the Serbian population. Now, is the Serbian population supposed to get arms and fuck these guys up? Is that how it works? Well, it's exactly what the West wants. You know what? Because when the other guys are going to come and fuck these guys up, like in Yugoslavia, remember? They will call genocide. And then these guys will say, because of the genocide occurring in that country, we have to intervene in the name of this group that we actually triggered. What do you want? This is the whole game over there. Remember, if you do it, the next one can do it to you. You open the Pandora box. Here. Rest of the day, 29th of June. Protesters in Belgrade calling for civil war. So the protesters call for civil war. Okay, let's say the protesters win. Then you're going to have other people who will protest the current protesters in the future, and they will call for civil war. Do you think that these current protesters will be okay with the next protesters calling for civil war? I guarantee you not. Now, this is claimed by the Serbian Parliament speaker, Ana Barnabic, or Barnabic. Has claimed that the organizers of anti-government demonstration want to destroy the country. That's according to her. I think she's accurate. But hey, see what they're doing. Someone said in one of the comments that those violent outbursts were staged. By whom? And how do you know? Every time when someone gives you a piece of information or claims something, you ask two questions. Is it true? And the second one is, how do you know it's true? Okay, first, they were staged. Is it true they were staged? And if you say yes, I say, how do you know they're staged? Have you been around? What information you have? I would like to see the information. Do you have the concrete No, don't give me CNN telling you about the anonymous sources or someone familiar with the issue told you or made an article. That's garbage. I can claim a lot of unnamed sources here and, how do you call it, people familiar with the issue, how much I want to contradict your statements, but I will never reveal my sources because there are no sources. The same with the FBI and CIA. When these operatives come in front of a commission, senatorial commission, and they have to testify, and they ask, why is this? And say, well, your father is a criminal. And the senator says, no, that's not true. How do you know that? Where's your evidence? I will say, well, I can't provide you the evidence because it's still under investigation and we cannot disclose the information because that would, deconspire our good, courageous men and women that will provide us with the information. But I can state how much I want without providing evidence. The same is here with the media. Whenever you hear a source familiar with this or unnamed source, discard that information right there. Why? Could be nobody, could be made up by the CNN, MSNBC, Fox News, whomever, Deutsche Welle, BBC. Where is the evidence? How do you know that? Don't give me unnamed. I can give you a ton of unnamed. Someone who works in the U.S. Let's say in the U.S. government told me under condition of anonymity that or confidentiality that the Serbs actually are fighting the Germans right now. Is familiar with the issue. How can you verify that? You can't because it's a lie. The same thing. You can't verify it by. I don't buy it. Why? I've been around the building or the block halfway at least. So let's see what these guys are saying. All right. Speaker of the Serbian Parliament, Ana Barnabic. has accused anti-government protesters in Belgrade of calling for a civil war after a student-led rally escalated into clashes with police. In the video I made last time, I ranted against the students, and I continue to claim that the students are ignorant. They don't know anything about the world yet. They live on their parents' money. They don't work, most of them. And they're very idealistic. That is, they're very living in a child mentality still. They don't have nuances. They have black and white. They have evil and good, nothing in between. And they are led by, oh my God, freedom, imagine, love, and all that. Okay? And I maintain that the students are infantile. That's what I'm saying, infantile. Not all of them, not even 99% of them. You can say, how did you get to that one? Well, I was a student myself at one point as well, and I saw people around me. I know what kind of ideas we held. Now imagine now, when I'm much older, looking at then when we were, yeah man, we're gonna start this, and we thought we are well read. Yes, we were well read. But after that, I read hundreds of, if not thousands of more books after that. That got me much smarter than a student who can be pack left and right. Alright, my friends, let's see what else these guys say. The latest unrest erupted on Saturday after the authorities rejected an ultimatum from demonstrators. So again, demonstrators cannot demand an ultimatum to the government. You work within the system, because if they will change, demanding the dissolution of the parliament early elections. Okay, let's say this government caves in. They say, okay, dissolution, next elections. And the next elections, let's say we have two chances, two options. One, the same guys win, then what? Oh, and the same guys lose. Then what? Okay, the new guys win. So when the new guys win, the old guys are going to start demonstrations, and they will demand an ultimatum. The same thing you demanded. If you say no, why not? Only if you think that you are better. Only if you think like a child, like an infantile, that you're perfect, and the other guys are the evil ones. That's why the students are easily manipulated. Some of them are very good intentioned. Oh my God, but they don't know almost anything about life. And they still depend on their parents to send them to the university. Who pays for their fucking board? Huh? The government? Who pays the bills? They don't work. So shut the fuck up. I'm just kidding. They can talk how much they want. But this kind of demands with ultimatums. Alright, my friends, let's read further. The protest coincided with Vidor Dan, a national holiday marking Serbia's 1389 battle against the Ottoman Empire at Kosovo Field. Oh my God, where is Kosovo? A new country by the Albanians. Good job. Muslims? Yep. In a post on X, Barnabic, who served as prime minister from 2017 to 2024, shared a video from the protest's closing moments in which an organizer tells the crowd to take freedom into your own hands. But don't you take other people's freedoms from their hands and you place it in your hands? Have you thought about it? That when you go and take it in your hands, everybody else who disagree with you can do the same thing? Where will that end up? Where do you think that will end up? I tell you where. Chick chick. There you go. That's where it's gonna end up. Take your freedom. These guys work like this. It's only one way. And the way is our way, and our way is the best way. Now that's a tyrannical way of thinking. You might disagree with what the current government in Belgrade or Serbia does. You might disagree with it. Work within the system. Vote. We don't like democracy. Oh, the elections are rigged. Tell me about that one. All right. And I'm quoting, they didn't end their gathering by shouting, "Long live Serbia." They ended it with a chilling call to murder Serbia, a monstrous and open call for civil war. All right, well, I don't know if that's correct or not, or these are staged or not. As of now, the evidence, there are some people over there, civilians, attacking police officers. Why? Why? They have families too. They're over there to enforce the law. You're breaking the law. You become violent and destroy property. You're in the wrong already. Already. Remember, even in a conversation, if you are right, you're not going to start beating the other person. Is that how you do? I'm right, therefore I'm going to beat you up. I'm going to become aggressive. I'm going to destroy a third party's property. Is that how I function? Now that's why they're infantile. For that reason. I have a problem with you, but I will destroy his property. Who gives you this right? Who? Well, I'm in the right anyway. I'm good. I'm perfect. I'm ideal. I'm the unicorn. So, my friends from Serbia, I don't pretend I know everything. I don't pretend I know a lot about it. But from what I know, from previous life and the current situation, work within the system. Show me that you are civilized. Otherwise, your methods, when you get in power, you're gonna have the same methods. Remember, what's his name? The terror of French Revolution, Robespierre. What did he do? Through violence, he got in power, and then it was a great terror. He applied the same garbage. This is one example. The same garbage to other people. And then he ended up being guillotined himself by the same people. By the same people. That's not the way to do it. If you're civilized, if you are a, goat herder, if you are a baboon, if you're a knuckle dragger, go and massacre yourselves how much you want. But then don't tell me you're civilized. But guess what? The Europeans will get you like that. They will accept you in their midst. Even like that. Why? Because you're going to follow orders. That's all they care. That's all they care. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.